use storytelling to connect among ourselves.
Thank you, my brother Obehi, and thank you to everybody who has spoken. I was in between a couple of meetings, and I was just about to leave, and then I heard my sister talk. I think it's Rissy. I hope that was the person, and my heart just burst open. And that is the power of listening to each other's stories. And then I said to myself, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I start by just giving a quick Yoruba proverb from Nigeria and the Yoruba culture. Bí ojú bá ń ṣe òkun, ojú ayé ń rí, which means the eyes that weep for the ocean. When the eyes weep for the ocean, the eyes of the mother weep. And this proverb signifies the deep emotional connection between individuals and their homeland or ancestors. It reflects the longing for ancestral connection that African women in the diaspora, who are my niche, may feel. And this is what was evoked when I listened to my sister talk. You know, knowing about one's ancestral traditional lineage and heritage has the potential to enrich people's lives by providing a strong sense of identity, pride, and connection. I mentioned in one of these audio rooms the other day that my boss daughter, I like to call her that, who is a film producer and executive, etc., etc. She is visiting me this weekend, or I mean, she was visiting me last weekend, and she said to me, she said, you know, Mom, I've been telling you since I was a baby that your story is mind-blowing. I said, me? What story? She said, first of all, you're the brand, which was something that I'd been resisting. And then she said, you've been telling us stories since we were babies. We're now in our 30s, and your stories are just unbelievable in the good sense. And all of that has brought me to the work that I'm doing now. I now see the trajectory of my life. I see the road I was meant to take. I see how I've been brought to this place by the divine. I'm also an ordained minister, by my ancestors, I'm also a therapist, by all the people I've worked with over the years. It's not by chance that I've reached the place where I am now and I'm doing this particular work. You know, learning about your ancestors, it offers the opportunity for personal growth, healing, and is of a deeper understanding of oneself and one's place in the world. Stories, I mentioned in one of the other rooms that stories give us that opportunity to view the world and understand the structure of the world. It helps us make sense of the world, make sense of how we walk in the world. And for Africans in the diaspora in particular, this is an even more important thing to do, not only for the reasons I've just mentioned about, but for our unique stories and legacies impact trauma of slavery, colonization, and various forms of discrimination. All these things play a powerful role in our lives, how we show up today, how we continuously are being triggered every second of the day. You can't, every day, if you're not hearing something in America that impacts black people, black, brown, people of color, you can't get away from it. These things are triggered. Trauma resides in our body, and we're continuously being triggered. And if we don't tell our own stories, tell each other our own stories, tell our children our stories, it's at our peril, and we can see it happening. This knowledge can be a powerful tool for addressing historical and cultural challenges and celebrating our roots. Boy, do we have some incredible stories to tell. Africans in the diaspora knowing and embracing and celebrating our heritage, culture, and traditions can help bridge the gap between the cultural background and the countries we reside in. They need to hear who we are. We need to get rid of all the narratives that are already there. We've heard it all before. It's boring. We have original stories to tell, but we have to find our own stories. We need to talk to our elders, talk to family members, do our research. It's all there. We just have to make the effort, be intentional about it. Celebrating your heritage can instill a sense of resilience by drawing strength from the wisdom and experience of our ancestors who have faced adversity. What we're going through today, our people have gone through that and a zillion times more. Africans in the diaspora, and particularly our children, they are lost to the distraction that is all around them, and we need to inform them about their ancestors. Again, I was saying in a room the other day, my married name is Ogunbadejo, but my maiden name is Ogundikwe. And in the Yoruba tradition, Ogun is the god of iron, the god of war, the god of technology. I was telling my children, I said, my maiden name is Ogundikwe. Your father's name is Ogunbadejo. You've got two hits of Ogun. So these people were warriors. They were, intellectuals. They were artisans. They think of yourself like that. And when I told my daughters, I could see them, their eyes light up. This is what we need to do. We need to give our children that sense of uh, of 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 a knowledge of who and where they've come from. We may not have all the information, but we can find it. It just takes a few hours talking to the elders, talking to family members, and like I say, doing the research. You will find information. The loss of identity, cultural disconnection, cultural erasure, poor self-esteem, poor self-worth, loss of culture, all of and a lot more is tearing us apart. But we are all what we're doing here today, and we continue to do, is building ourselves back up. And this is something that we need to continue doing. As I continue to explore and learn about my culture and my traditions, I think and negotiate my way in the world with much more authenticity. I wake up excited. When I open my eyes, I've always been a positive person. But when I open my eyes every day now, I think, yeah, okay, let's get it. I've got that sense of, I've got something running through my DNA. I understand it. They have brought me to do this work I'm doing today. So I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. And let me stop here.